Hello there. Welcome back. Here is a present for you. Wonderful.
Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host, Matt, and with me this week is our resident gaming journalist, Eli.
How's it going, everyone?
Our pro gamer, Mike.
I said I forgot how to say hi. Oh, God.
And our retro aficionado, Unoclay.
Wait. Can you hear me?
So the 12-year-olds in our audience will know the reference, and I'll get to it in my what I've been playing.
Neither do I, because I'm 12 years old. But
take a guess. All the 12-year-olds just perked up their ears and were like, "Dude!"
it's Keanu Reeves in that movie with the time traveling.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Bill and Ted.
No, I don't think so. But hey, I get that.
Nice. Well, it's been a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last time we
Seems
recorded.
like the world's ended.
Yeah. Mike doesn't seem to have a problem.
COVID
with that.
delayed our internet. Okay, delayed our internet podcast. All right, it affected everything. All right, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it was sometime in May that we recorded last, or at least I posted that thing, because there wasn't a whole lot of news to really discuss. There was only like one or two things, and I don't even think we'd talk that long, so I decided to hold off. But we're back for now. We'll see what happens in the future. I think there's probably going to still be another lengthy break or whatever, because I think news is still going to be scarce. But yeah, let's just get back into the news as if nothing exactly happens. So I played a couple things. We're all going to just rattle off things quickly just because it's been like 2 months. Some quick stuff. I tried out Dauntless. It's like the Monster Hunter cartoony game. I played it for like an hour or two. I didn't really like it. It seemed like it was too repetitive already, and I didn't want to spend more time because I didn't think it would get much better. Seems neat, but I played Thumper a bit. I only got to like the second world, so I can't really say much. It's cool. It's difficult. But yeah, I'll have to play more of that. I just haven't made time for it. So there are a bunch of demos that they released over the summer through Jeff Keighley's Summer Fest thing. I forget what the heck it's called already. Yeah. So a bunch of different outlets or whatever have released demos.
Games.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt. Summer of games. Gosh,
They did stuff.
it's summer and it's games.
Steam has done stuff. Game of Gogs, which is where I played some of these. But the one standout I wanted to mention was called Carrion. It's Carrion. Basically, you play as like John Carpenter's The Thing, or like Venom in his symbiote form. It's like a reverse monster horror game where you're the monster and you're going around killing things. And basically, the closest thing I can say is it's like the Venom symbiote, where you're like this goop going around, going through vents and other corridors, and I think it's like procedurally generated too, the levels anyway. And you can like sneak up to enemies and like throw them across the room or rip them apart or eat them to get bigger and all this other stuff. And then in other levels, there's going to be like fire, which will burn you down. You have to like jump into the pools of water or just do all this other kind of sneaky stuff. I really like it. I don't recall if it's on Switch. I should have checked first because I played it on PC technically. It says it's coming to Switch. Okay, good. But yeah, I think it's... Unfortunately, the demo isn't live anymore because I just checked like an hour or so ago. I guess during these demo events, they only have them for limited times for whatever reason. So if you see something like that, just download it and then play it. Kind of like Ghost Runner, which was another cool game I won't really talk about. But yeah, I think look up Carrion. I think it's something to keep your eye on because it is really cool. It is just a lot of fun being like this goop because there's nothing else I really played quite like it. So if you like, I don't know, Venom or The Thing or monster horror movies, I'd say definitely check it out. I forget when it's coming out. And then the other thing I played was the Pokemon Isle of Armor DLC. So I don't know how much I can really say about it, because the thing is, for whatever dumb reason, a couple of weeks ago I thought about, hey, I wonder if I should do the national dex, which is get like all the Pokemon and the Pokedex. And then I kept going, and I'm like, well, maybe I should look into it more. And then I was looking at some videos, and then I was like, maybe I should make a checklist. And then I spent like 2 weeks on this dumb checklist so I could catalog all this crap. So I'm definitely going for it now. This time, I technically did it during Pokemon Sun, but the difference there was that rather than say evolve Charmander to Charmeleon and Charizard and just have the Charizard, and then you can always trade it out if you want for other Pokemon. I'm doing it so it's called the Living National Dex for Unoclay. Basically, I keep each iteration of the Pokemon, so I would have one Charmander, one Charmeleon, and one Charizard, which makes it a lot more tedious. But I think it'd be cool to have a collection in Pokemon Home. So I've been so like every time I play the Armor DLC, I'm just like, ooh, here's like 60 Pokemon I can catch, and then I'll like do a bit of the story, and then like go to another area and find more Pokemon and just start capturing them all. I'm like, man, this is gonna take so much longer to play this, but the area is a lot bigger than I imagined, despite having to stop every once in a while to catch more Pokemon. And I think there's enough to do on the island, so I think that's cool on its own. I think as a package, it'll be worth it, because the second half you'll be fighting a bunch of a bunch of the legendaries as different like raid bosses with people. So I think it'll be worth it overall. But Eli, I know you were looking into it. I don't know if you have any questions.
No, it's currently downloading on my Switch.
Nice.
I need to redo my national dex, because when I re-imported all my previous Pokemon into Pokemon Home, I was still missing like 80. Even though I had previously filled the dex, because as you just mentioned, I didn't have a living dex. And I just had the fully evolved forms. So I do need to go back a little bit. There's also like 2 legendaries that were given out in events that I just probably slept through in previous generations.
Okay.
So I do have to go back. The ones that were killer were the ones that came for Pokemon Sun and Moon too.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't get those through the events through the original Sun and Moon, and I didn't want to give Nintendo $40 more just to be able to get 2 Pokemon. Like, I'm a sucker a lot of the time, but that was like one step too far for me.
Wow, you didn't want
so
you didn't want to get the
out
rainbow badge? I'm disappointed in you. Giovanni came back just for you to spend $40, Eli. Come on.
So yeah, exactly. I'm gonna need to figure out a way to barter for these Pokemon. Fortunately, I do have like a lot of extra legendaries from just like playing every game, and like extra shinies and just stuff. So I hope that I can get my way into possessing some of the ones I'm missing.
Nice. Yeah, so you're talking about the Pokemon only in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Recently, they had an event for a shiny Zeraora. You can, from what I'm reading, you can still get it. You just have to trade a Pokemon into Pokemon Home if you haven't already. And then they'll just dump the Zeraora in your account. You just have to go to like your news feed or your mystery gifts. It'll have like a glowing dot on it in Pokemon Home.
Wait, I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah, on the mobile version.
He's like, oh wait, really?
I'm the loop. Law school kind of does a number on you. So.
Yeah, because that was the one that was given away in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I, like yourself, am not going to buy a $40 game just for this one Pokemon. But yeah, you just have to log into the mobile version of Home as long as you trade a Pokemon, which it sounds like you have in there. And then it should just show up in your mystery gifts on there. It goes until July 6th.
So basically this week. Oh, well, anyone who's hearing it, they'll probably hear it within the second. So they got till Sunday. Because Saturday's the 4th, Sunday the 5th, and then I'm assuming the 6th is just like, hey, it's because it's going to be the 6th in Japan. So, because, well, it's the same thing with Min. They said Min was the 30th in Japan, but we got it the 29th, you know?
Yeah. No,
but I was going to ask Matt, for when you got the game, I played regular Sword Shield, so if I bought the DLC, like when you enter the game, is it like, hey, here's the DLC, or like there's some like does it trigger a story event or something like that, or how's it go?
So you can actually access it earlier on, which is interesting and kind of neat. You only have to get to like Wedgehurst Station or whatever, which is like the train station. It's like about an hour or two into the game. And then from there, you can just, they give you a pass, quote unquote, and you can just go back to the train station and be like, instead of going to this other town in the game, I want to go to the Isle of Armor. And then you just go there. And you can start it before you even get a first badge if you really want. I think it scales based off of how many badges you have. But yeah, you can, once you get to the station, you can just go right onto the island if you want. Because even when you get the new legendary Kabfu, even when, I beat all the badges and everything, they give it to you at level 10. And then all the Pokemon on the island scale to around your level, which is probably based on your badges. But so if you like beat the game, they'll all be level 60. If you haven't, they'll probably be like level 10s or something like that. And then just scale up from there. So if you really want to forego the actual main plot and just go to the DLC, you can do that. You don't have to beat the whole game, which is nice for those people.
Cool. Yeah, no. I mean, I'm probably not gonna get it, but like, I haven't heard anything bad about like the DLC. The only thing I heard was people were buying the wrong version of the game, which I mean, we'll just say the waiver now is like, hey, I have Sword, and they just bought Shield DLC because they assumed they would just work for both, but which is kind of weird. But at the same time, there are subtle differences between the games, so
I'm not even sure if there's like a difference in like returning. I don't even know why they're separate. The only reason I could think of is if they're like, certain returning Pokemon are exclusive to this one or that one. But I don't think that's the case. I haven't like.
Well, I know like some
it,
of the statues are different too. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the game, like I think like right in the beginning,
a couple of characters. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, and there's two different gyms as well. So, that means different dialogue, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But yeah, overall, you would think it's the same game. So the DLC should be like a package kind of thing. But nope.
But also, you would hope people would, read.
Yeah,
it's not really that hard.
That's asking
to like
too much out of people these days, man. You wanted them to read.
Come on, there's a notice saying have this game, and it says this pass, and you'd think you put 1 and 2 and 2 together. But
you're like, hey, that's not the character that's on my front cover. But nope.
Gosh, but yeah, that's what I've been doing for the.
I would add something, but this is all like listening to Charlie Brown's teacher talk. So
great.
Yeah.
Is there a code for this event or something?
So the code is for like the Armorite ore, which is like an item you can exchange in game for other stuff. So yeah, they give you that code because they surpassed the amount of people who beat the Zero Ore thing, and then if you click.
I'm unable to claim this Aurora.
Is it in like your mystery gifts thing?
Yeah, well, I'm in the mystery gifts, and it's just gift for using Wonder Box with the Eevee, and then the one for the Rotom, but nothing else appearing. Is it because I didn't participate in the raids?
No, because you didn't even have to do it. You didn't even have to play the raids. I
see.
Double check.
All right. Well, I'll figure it out. Thanks for letting me know, though.
Yeah, no problem. You might. Did you?
He's going on the dark web, man.
In
Don't worry.
The game?
What?
Or in Pokemon Home?
What'd you say?
I said, did you exchange any, or did you put any Pokemon in Pokemon Home?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe just do it again, because I'm not like reading this stuff exactly because I don't want to leave too much dead air or whatever. But
you're good. I'll figure it out. But listeners, there's a shiny Zora, according to.
And it's got Eli's name on it. All right, so
yeah, don't take it. I will find you if you take mine.
And there's only one on the internet, and it's mine. Okay, guys, thanks.
All right, so I think we'll move on to Eli. Did you want to talk about something, or are you want to pass it over to someone else while you're busy?
So I was unable to play many video games for like a 3-week period because of a law school exam that I was studying for. But I did start on The Last of Us, which is
Nice.
like big deal. Only a few hours in, so I'll talk about it maybe next time. Other than that, I have been a bad gamer. I don't think I've had much time to play.
I'm disappointed in you. This guy adopts a cat, lives his life, okay, and he thinks he can not play games that come on the podcast. I mean, what a jerk, right? No, but I was gonna ask first impressions though on TLOU2 so far, or have you only really did like the cinematic stuff?
I was kind of hoping you would say first impressions on the cat.
Yeah. You know, forget TLOU2. You know that Matt. You know what? That is way funnier, and I wish I did say that now.
On the cat, he's really funny. He's very curious about a lot of things. He's got a ton of energy. He likes biting. We're still working on that one.
Well, he's a kitty, right? Like you
Yeah.
like got him like real young kind of thing. I think that's like a normal thing with like most animals. Like they're gonna nibble, so you gotta watch out. Like gotta watch your shoelaces, man, and all that other stuff, because they'll go for it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I did play a few games. I just like to kill time. Like I played Trover Saves the Universe.
How is that?
Oh, it's pretty funny. I think it's like without this PSVR, it's kind of not worth it.
Okay.
It's just worth it for the gimmicks if you have it. 'Cause
Okay,
like,
so it's all
fun.
about the VR gimmicks, but it's a funny game. Like without that, then it's just like, why wouldn't I just watch a cartoon? Right?
Yeah, it's just like the writing's witty. It's good. And then I've also played Hotline Miami 2 and like Goat Simulator, just games that I was screwing around with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also I played Persona 4 Dancing All Night.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that game, dude. I just
thing
got
is-
my Vita again, like just to play that because I wanted Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight. What was your opinion of it?
I just couldn't take the text. It took about 2 hours before I just started skipping through all the text and just playing it for the rhythm game.
Yeah, the
So-
story's pretty stupid. It's like, oh, we can only defeat the monster with the power of dance, and you're like, bro, let me just hit triangle and beat, please. But no, that's cool. That's cool. It's very ironic. I literally got my Vita like
There you go.
yesterday just to be like, I'm like, man, I want to play this again. So nice.
I did have to bring my Vita home back to where I'm living now from home though, because I bought Danganronpa V3 when it was on sale without looking at the platform, because I just assumed if I was on PS4 and I was buying a game, it would be the PS4 version, like a normal person.
Yeah,
But
of course.
apparently I had bought the Vita version, and it's not cross-platform. Like it's not.
Oh, dude, yeah, not cross buy or whatever.
Yeah,
or something
cross-buy. So I had to go home and get my Vita if I want to play that game.
Dude, I love that. I mean, I know you played all the other Danganronpas, but yeah, dude, it was. I'm telling you, it's just as good. Like I was actually a little bit more shocked when I played that one because I wasn't expecting it to be as like. I guess as good as like 2 and 1 because they had the whole series and then if you wanted to finish it you were supposed to watch the anime kind of thing. But V3 like the writing's just as clever, man. It didn't stale out, so don't worry about that kind of thing because you feel like by the third or fourth time it's gonna be like, well, eh.
I think I might just give in, and if it ever is on sale again on the PS4, I'll actually just try to play PS4.
You know what? That's probably the better move. Yeah, that was the only one I ever did play on console as well. I think though you could check because the summer Steam sale is on. Summer Steam sale is on. So if you're looking to do it that way,
Yeah, I gotta check that out. Well, look at that.
That's hard to say fast. Summer Steam. Yeah, I can't say that. I can't even say it right normally. Summer Steam sale. Got
There
it.
you go.
Clay wouldn't know what that is. He goes, "That's not a Nintendo. Steam."
Not a Nintendo. It was time, honestly.
You're like, yo, Steam. You're like, this isn't the 1500s. I'm not traveling by train.
Have you guys played all 78 games that were released on the Atari Lynx yet? No? Then what do you
No?
do? Steam.
Dude, there's something really cool though you might like on Steam, Clay. They call it 3D Sen, S-E-N. And what it is it's an NES emulator that recreates every game in 3D.
Yeah, no, I think either you or someone else and I were talking about that online. I'm watching him on Twitter. That stuff is amazing that he's building. If it's the one I'm thinking,
Did you see Mario Brothers 3? He did like that one. I saw that, and I think I saw Castlevania or a Castlevania lookalike, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like I mean, I wouldn't want to use it unless I had, not ironically, but kind of weird. It's like I want to use it with VR because he has two different versions. One, you could just play the NES games in 3D, and then the next one where it's that same, emulator, but it's VR compatible. And it just
That's
seems
cool.
way cooler.
It's still betaing it. I wasn't following it closely. Is it out playable
No,
now?
no, it is still in beta. It's like version, 0.01, 0.1, 0.8 kind of thing. But yeah, you do have to pay for it though. It is not like a free emulator. Granted, this guy's basically recreating a game. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, hey, he just porting a game over as an emulator.
For the listeners who haven't seen it, it's basically like imagine any classic tiled like set of art from like say Super Mario Brothers, one we all know, but he is somehow using the tile assets to stretch it into a 3D dimension, so the game looks like you're looking at like a diorama almost of a classic game. So it's not like you're going to be able to play the game in 3D. You're not going to run into the backgrounds of Mario Brothers or something like that, but it looks 3D. It's like he's stretching the tiles in this way and reusing the assets and I guess creating an emulator that can like somehow do it for him. And then
what's it called again?
3D SEN.
Yeah, it's truly stunning. Look at him on Twitter. He'll put pictures of like little videos of like some files he's got running or something for some classic game, and you're like, your brain just explodes. You're like, how is that possible?
That's cool.
Like, look at the Mario 3 one. It's one I always tell people because, like, to me, like that, because that game, it's a stage kind of thing. But like, if you just literally Google 3D Sen Mario 3, it's the second video, and he's playing like I think like the third or fourth level or something like that. And it's mind blowing. Like 5 seconds in, I'm just looking at the preview of it, and like I'm still shocked, kind of like the way it looks. And it's really cool. I mean, like it's Nintendo, which is cool. For us as a podcast to see it, and it's just a very cool way to see remastered 3D versions of NES. Because the 3DS tried something like this, like in a different way, where they did classics. The 3D classics with Sonic and Mario. But it's to see someone actively doing this. And, NES games I've always been on the bridge about, but this makes me want to play NES games. You guys say something, Matt?
You guys hear that sound, though? You guys hear that sound? Cease and desist incoming. I hear it. I hear it.
Yeah.
It's coming like a missile.
That's why you wait until it's done, and then people can download it, and if it gets taken down, then whoop-de-doo, because we can still re-upload it. But
it's so like obvious this is going to disappear instantly from Steam, so keep your eyes on it, people.
It's that old adage, if you want it, don't report on it.
Yeah.
Because once some big website like, Kotaku's reporting this. Oh no, it's dead. Way to go, you killed it.
Oh, every time it gets on Kotaku, it's literally got a 2-day lifespan. That happened with
the Metroid game.
Yep, the Breath of the Wild skins for Zero Suit Samus and all that. It's like some guy, coded the whole thing. And it looked really cool, and he did a great job. But yeah, the videos went down. I heard that you could still get the mods, obviously, because everybody shares everything. Yeah. But yeah, like those videos went down immediately.
Yeah. This 3D Sen thing is pretty cool because it's not. I don't know how far this goes if he programmed for specific ones or not. But some of these aren't just like extruded into the back. Like some of the Mario ones, like the pipes are actually 3D. It's not just one block stretch backwards, or the piranha plants or the mushrooms. It's like if someone actually made it versus just stretch it. It's really cool.
I haven't caught on to that because I mostly saw where it looks like he's somehow duplicating the tile set to like run into the background or foreground.
No, Clay, look at the Mario 3. Like literally do what I said and just do 3D Sen Mario 3. The second video, it's crazy. Like it's mind blowing. Like you could like look through the pipe kind of thing because like.
Matt's claiming he's seen one where it's like that there's actual 3D space, not like it just looks.
Well, not 3D space, but like think of a circle rather than like if you extrude it, it would just be a disc. But in this case, it's like an actual tube.
Oh yeah.
So that link, if you scroll down, you'll see like it's a tube.
You're not saying there's like Z.
No. It's just that the objects themselves are look like they're made in 3D, which is cool.
Yeah. I guess you're right because it's not just tile sets. It's like it's he's I don't know. I mean, I guess we could talk about this forever.
It really is that interesting. But yeah, guys, check that out if you ever get a chance.
Good call. That's huge. That's huge for a Nintendo podcast. Yeah, this is something every Nintendo fan should see before it's wiped from the face of the earth, except for the Dark World.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said though, Clay, we could talk about this forever and like what we would want to see on it, kind of thing, and what improvements, etc. So
Explode.
For
That
another
explode.
time. Another time. But since you're talking anyway, Mike.
You always gotta love how Nintendo will refuse to ever hire any of these people to do cool stuff instead of just killing it all.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, this could be lucrative. DMCA him and never hire him.
Gosh.
Matt, you want me to go? Or you want Clay
go.
to go? All right. So I played some games. I like playing games. So I'll just keep it short. Mario Maker 2 hit its 1 year anniversary. I play Mario Maker 2 all the time. I think it's a great game. So I think you guys, if you really like Mario or you just like playing 2D platformers, it's the right game. Kind of feels the itch to always platform and try out different modes, and you don't have to play rando garbo indies. Let's see. I've kind of given up on my Ring Fit Wii Fit. I've just been going outside again, so unfortunate to that. I dropped Animal Crossing like a good boy.
I like how you're like, oh man, I gave up on this game. I decided to go outside instead.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going outside, boys. Sorry. SpongeBob, I played for the Switch. Meh. 51 Clubhouse games. Very fun. I would recommend picking that up. And I feel like there's one other game, and then I played Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm going for my platinum on it this like probably when the podcast ends or like later tomorrow. All I had to do was play hard mode. Honestly, amazing game. I didn't expect it to be as good as when I played it. But I mean, I loved Crisis Core. This seemed like a more updated system from Crisis Core, the PSP only game from 04 or 06. And just besides, I think the only bad thing about the game was Zach Fair's voice actor. The original voice actor is way better, but everything else about the game was like I would give it like a 9.7. Like it was that good. Like I think the only thing that sucks is we don't know if it's going to be 3 parts or X amount of parts. And yeah, while they may have changed parts of the story and maybe it's going a whole different direction, to me it's not Final Fantasy VII, but it is Final Fantasy VII. I'm not gonna be like, oh, they're gonna recreate the same game, bro. It's that's bullshit. Like I don't give a shit. Like I like the characters and I like the world in it. And if they want to tweak the story a little bit, that's fine. Like personally, I've never had good experiences when they tweak stories. Like Persona 4 Golden is worse than Persona 4 story wise, but Persona 4 Golden is better gameplay wise. And I didn't like Persona 5, but I assume it. Well, I played Persona 3. That's the other game I played. Thank you for reminding me. But Persona 3 Fez is trash compared to Persona 3. And they changed some of the things that were just made Persona 3 a little bit better. Like a character died in Persona 3, and then they brought her back to life in 3 Fez. And it's like, come on, man. Like, that death had impact in the game, and it meant something. And I think it was the first time I was ever like, wow, even though they're retelling or redoing a story, it's actually good this time. So if you have a PS4, it should be a game you should be playing is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Nice. One thing I want to say, am I the only one who thought that Tifa sounded like Drew Barrymore?
I think you are. I was like, man, Tifa's voice acting, like Tifa and Eric, like although voice acting was super good except for Zach Fair. Like I was totally into it. I actually like the voice acting more than the Japanese audio. And I mean, I usually watch my anime in Japanese audio, but this time I was like, man, they got the right cast for English except for Zach Fair. But I know, maybe when I play it again, I'll look for the Drew Barrymore hint, Matt.
I mean, it's not bad, but it was just funny that I'm like, am I the only one that thinks this? Because it sounds pretty close.
But, is Drew Barrymore Canadian, Clay? Is that why
No.
Matt's had some biased ears over here?
I've just seen some Adam Sandler movies, that's all.
Okay, you see too much Adam Sandler during the break. I see. Don't worry, I watched, I watched, not Date Night, I watched Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler, so it was all right.
Deviating, but I gotta mention it. Did you guys watch it's arguably one of his best films of all time. Did you guys see Uncut Gems yet?
No.
It's on Netflix.
Uncut Gems. No, I've heard of that.
It's stunning. It's not a relaxing movie. Don't put it on and be like, we're gonna have a laugh. It's not a funny movie. It's you're gonna love it.
I want to laugh, you fool. I don't want to cry and Uncut Gem. No. I'll check it out though. I will.
Drama. It's all about New York. I won't spoil it, but it is one of the most tense movies. It's easily in his top 5, like truly great movies in a critical sense. Like it's stunning. Like I won't say any more. Watch it. Don't read any spoilers. It's like him.
One question is: are you an Adam Sandler fan though, or like you just watch it to watch it?
I mean, like he's made like 30 movies. 15 of them are like man-child garbage. 10 of them are pretty good man-child
How
garbage.
dare you? I like all the man-child garbage in this.
That's like 28 of his movies though. Like I mean, there's got
That's good. That's why I love Adam Sandler. All right, because I am a man-child. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I said 10 of them are pretty good. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, that's a pretty good percent. I mean, most people hate everything by him, so you know.
He just poops movies. You know, it's not like they're not going to all be good, but this one is like it's him like casually showing how once in a while he's like, no, I'm a serious actor. Check this out. You know, it's legendary.
Before we keep going, did everybody see the Sonic movie before Clay talks about his games?
No.
Oh.
No. Oh man, because you said
like,
Adam.
It now, but
yeah, because you know why? Because Jim Carrey was on that I'm a serious actor too phase, so it's just like that reminded me. I'm like, oh, Jim Carrey, and then I was like, oh, Sonic movie.
That one was where he just gets paid. Okay, like that was not a serious actor.
Yeah, he was serious when he was creating the Death Egg with the Sonic hair, okay, and he was doing all the Jim Carrey thing. I mean, he was being serious, not being Jim Carrey.
Oh Lord.
All right, Clay, what have you been playing, bro?
Yeah, you went fast, Mike. Hey, credit, dude. Yeah, I'll keep it quick. I've been playing a lot of stuff like everyone. It's, COVID and being sequestered and, playing a lot of stuff. I've dropped a few hot hits into my NES, Mega Man 5, like I had first time ever. Didn't finish it because that game has a punishing, ridiculous system that when you get to Wily Castle, there are like 10 stages and you can't continue. You've got to do all 10 of the rest.
Yep. Yeah, I freaking hate that about NES Mega Man. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the first time I died on Wily 3. I was like, I'm back to Wily 3, and they're like, you thought.
Well, you can continue as long as you don't turn off your NES. But this first you fight like what's his name, Flashman or whatever, your nemesis. I always get them all confused. Proto Man.
Yeah, no, okay, no, yeah, in Mega Man 5, he's Dark Man though. You fight fake Proto Man. Spoilers, guys. Sorry.
I passed that part. Like you fight like 4 or 5 stages of fake Proto Man. Like a Wily Castle. Then Wily's Castle really opens, and now you got to do all of Wily's Castle without turning off the system. And every time I set out to do it, I get like 5 or 6 stages in, and I get sick of it. I'm like, I am not doing this. Like I am not my Nintendo, like my high tech modded Nintendo, sitting here cooking just so I can. I was looking for cheat codes, and I haven't successfully found a cheat code that works.
I don't think Mega Man has any. I think the SNES one because they were doing password, password starts and all that, but. Yeah, I can't think of any Mega Man cheat codes, man.
There's no passwords for jumping to Wily, so I've been playing that, but I haven't finished it. Some other stuff, but the game, honestly, I'm coming in here for the 12-year-olds, like to rep, because I've been having the best time with Fortnite since they flooded.
I knew you were gonna. I'm like, are you gonna talk about Fortnite again?
Yeah, I knew it. He was like, I watched Inception through Fortnite.
I didn't do that.
That's what he was talking about during the intro.
Yeah, 12-year-old. No, man, like they flooded the map a few weeks ago for people who don't follow Fortnite. It sounded like a bad idea till they did it, and then it's like hilariously fun. We've been winning. We got 3 wins in a row last night. Come squad with us. Even if you suck, you get a win. It's like it's that game. You guys write it off because it's not for you or because you're not interested, and that's fine. But I'm telling you,
there's no mustaches or blue hedgehogs. How am I supposed to enjoy the game?
Hey, there's plenty of mustaches. You got to pay for them though. You got to do that battle pass.
Oh yeah, see, I got to pay for the mustache. Come on now.
And that's the thing. We're 3 grown adults playing it. We've never given them a dime yet. We always love it because everyone always thinks you suck when you're repping the original skin. Like you're just running around with like
you're brown pants, bro. Even I know that. Come on, bro. You're brown pants.
Yep. We run around. We don't have any special dances. We got nothing, and it's the funniest way. And it's like that's become our calling card. We're like we look like the doofs, and you're not even worried until we're killing you. It's like that's our thing. So it's good, man. It's that game rules. That game.
It's fair. I'm surprised you're still playing. I mean, the player base is still high after all this time. So that's fair. But one thing I wanted to ask was, I'm surprised like you didn't want to get the Clubhouse 51 games. Like you don't care for board games like that, or you're just like, I have them in real life, so who cares, kind of thing. Because it felt like Nintendo felt like they were kind of pushing it. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, this is the must-have kind of app to have on your Switch.
I was tempted like everyone else because they certainly marketed it well. I think for me, since you're asking me specifically, if I'm going to sit in front of my console, just like I don't really enjoy RPGs because they're too slow for me, I like playing games that are fast-paced, generally. That's what I'm looking for. I don't find myself in a lot of times where I'm going to sit down and play like a slow paced, like, let's play checkers, bro. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
No, that's fair, because I was just wondering, because you always have people over, and I'm like, man, do you sometimes mix it up and like, hey, let's do a board game kind of thing? Because they have the old, if you guys remember from We Play, they have the shoot game in it.
yeah.
Like, it's literally like a clone of the We Play one. And it just reminded me of that. Like, even though they promoted it as like, hey, let's play checkers and Hanafura or shit, that they do have kind of like wacky sub mini games in it. But no, that's fair. I just wonder, because you host people more often than others.
I mean, given that you can't have people over right now, like, especially because my work works in a hospital, like, that's not a factor. I got a backlog of games that are like supposed to be couch co-op games that are not getting played, like sitting on my Switch, like Super Chariot and like Lovers in Space Time and all that good stuff that like I'm partway through with friends. We're not getting Smash. I mean, Smash alone. I said to my friend, I'm going to put my TV in the yard this weekend and put lawn chairs 6 feet apart. And he said he's going to come over. We're going to play some Smash for the first time in real life and like for a while, I think. So it's like, yeah, that whole like clubhouse thing, I think it's attractive as a package. But like when my friends and family get together, my family especially, like we play Jackbox games still. Best.
Oh yeah. I did that for Father's Day, man. I feel you. Jackbox is kind of the new way to really, play with board games and all that. Like, I love chess and all that, but yeah, definitely Jackbox is kind of like.
Family is like laughing at Quiplash. I mean, my mom was almost having a hysterical fit playing Quiplash the other night. My brother and I were just putting the most absurd things into the game, and Dad.
My dad does the same thing. He'll write like a curse word in Italian, and we're like, "Oh, it's like, what do you feel about this?" And I'll be like, "Michael's a douchebag," and I'm like, "Yeah, that was clearly what they were asking." You know what I mean? It's just, fun stuff like that. So I feel you on that. I feel you.
Better bang for your buck. So that's what I've been playing. And Mike knows I was teaching my 7-year-old nephew to play Sonic the Hedgehog, and he reports that he thinks Knuckles is better than Sonic. The end. And 7-year-olds know what's up because they play Fortnite and they know about Knuckles. So
unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle. I get it. That's I like Clay. Since you don't know anything about Knuckles or Sonic, that's a rap line in Sonic Adventure game. It's a literal main theme song of Knuckles. That is one of the lines of his theme. Okay.
Sounds like a hot rap. I'll have to let
it's a hot rap, dude. It's a banger of a song, but I'm just letting you know. Unlike Sonic, he does not chuckle. All right.
It's even better when
better
when you hear the remix that someone makes where all the words are Knuckles, like all the adjectives.
Yep. You know what bothers me? He does chuckle, Matt. He does chuckle. Okay. Like in Sonic 3, he chuckles. All right, when he sends you down to spoilers, guys, for Sonic 3, but after you beat the first 2 acts, Knuckles chuckles and he sends you the Hydro City Zone. So
But I heard he doesn't chuckle. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I know. I was lied to. We were all lied to. Granted, the game was there's like a 6-year gap difference.
Yeah, I'll tease it. That's it for me. I'll tease it. Like I was trying to get my 7-year-old nephew to give us a hot interview for the podcast that I was going to get a sound file for it. We never got around to it because like right now he's on a Sega kick, so it was inappropriate. I was like, I don't want to interview you and hear you just talking about how you're all about Sega right now. It's like you're playing Sonic rules. I don't want to hear that. So we're gonna hold off because like.
Oh no, good man. Yeah, the best part is there's a Sega Genesis Mini on sale by my local mom and pop shop. I'm like, finally, I can get it for sale.
Yeah, he all he wants to play right now is Tony Hawk's Skater on N64 and Sonic. So
dude, Tony Hawk's coming out soon. He'll be happy. New Tony Hawk on modern console soon.
We're only allowed to play old consoles. We're raising them right down.
Oh, boo! You gave him Tony Hawk on the N64. That's a port of the PlayStation one. It's an inferior version, bro.
Yeah.
All right, come on now.
He's 7. No idea.
Yo, he knows because I was 7 when Tony Hawk came out. I think I was playing the demo off my deep dish Pizza Hut box. All right, with Reggie making New Yorkers at the time. All right, before he knew anything about the Mustache Man.
Nice.
All right.
News time.
Yeah,
man. Bring us in.
Move on to some announcements. I'll just rattle these off quick. So there's no plans Nintendo has no plans for large industry events. They say directs are great. If there's something better or a better way to present information, they'll look into it in the future. Some people got all nervous about that because they didn't, I guess, read it or the headline properly. But directs are still going to happen. It's just if something better comes, then they might do that, which I don't think there really is anyway. So nothing to worry about. Nintendo also apologizes for the Joy-Con issues, which is good because I'm about to send mine in for for stinking drift issues. A couple, I think it was.
It's free, right?
I don't know. Supposedly, like based off of rumors, I just sent in a ticket because I didn't feel like calling them by the time I got the chance to. But yeah, we'll see about that because a couple months ago, I think it was.
Man,
after
you're
I
gonna come
played
back with
Gumball.
$100 fee. You're gonna be
Gosh.
like, why don't I just buy 2 Joy-Cons for 80?
No, it's 100% free. They even give you a shipping label via the email, and like you'll send it for free. It's only, as I told Matt, but for the listeners, there is a delay. I've been keeping an eye on it because 1 out of my 4 Joy-Cons is real wonky, and I can't get it to be fixed with my spray solution. So so it could take a while. It kind of depends on where you live, because depending on where you live, it'll get shipped to a different repair center. Like for me, it went to someplace in upstate New York, came back in a week. That was before COVID. And if you look at their website right now, it just says, due to COVID, everything is backed up like heck.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, talk to him, Matt. It could be a while, but like you said, hey, it doesn't really matter. You got a Pro Control, you just want it fixed. You know.
Well, they
So,
just
Yeah.
reopened, right? The centers
Yeah,
were
they-
closed for a while.
Yeah, I saw today it said things are slowly opening up, so they're gonna like start. I don't know when this happened, but they're gonna start with people whose orders were like held in there because they had to leave, and then they'll go through all the other people's based off of whose stuff comes in first. So not even who placed their repair order first, just as it comes in.
the other
Yeah.
thing to be mindful of, which is a bother to me, and it's just worth stating out loud. I think we all know about this, but for listeners, if you send them a funky, like rare Joy-Con color and they can't fix it, they have a disclaimer that says you might not get it back. You might just get a generic red or blue back. Like, and it's just the deal. Like, it sucks.
No, that's how it goes. My boy lost his limited edition Halo Xbox because of something like that. You know, he sent it in red ring 3 times, then he got back a regular one after
Which
X
is
amount of time.
which kind of sucks. Like,
Yeah,
but
sometimes
it's
they
like-
will give you like an option of a different design or color, because that happened with like my Pikachu. Like this screen, I somehow hit the corner of the screen in like my pocket, and it like had a bunch of dead pixels. I'm like, crap. And then they're like, yeah, we can't fix it. We can give you like a Zelda one or like some other dumb one. I'm like, all right, well, at least I have an option. But
Yeah. Or the
Joy-Con
default blue one or some shit like that.
Joy-Con-
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
sucks. Like, I mean, like, I have had my eye on trying to get a hold of the yellow and purple ones for a while because they look so sweet in real life.
Mhm.
And boy, dude, those auctions go up to like $100 for those. Like, it's just like,
might as well just
Come.
import them.
For which one?
for the yellow and purple specifically, those are the ones I've been having my eye on because I saw them at the Nintendo store a few months ago. Well, several months ago now, and I was like, wow, those look hot. But you know how expensive Joy Cons are. I don't want to like pay all that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Is it
You're-
true that some of the Joy-Con colors are being discontinued? I heard the Mario Odyssey red one, and I heard the gray one is being
Sure.
discontinued. So that's weird because that's like, I mean, everyone considers the Switch, the green and blue one, as the default now, the neon blue, neon red.
Yeah.
But I heard that those are going to be like, if you're going to get new Joy-Cons, probably pick up the OG gray ones, or one that's going to be out of stock. So it'll be like, hey, I have rare Joy-Cons. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same thing, but.
My Splatoon like neon pink one is the one that's malfunctioning really bad, and that's what I'm afraid of because I think they are like limited. So it's like, I don't want to send it in. I almost don't want to send it in. I'd rather deal with it being kind of wonky. That I'm like, no, because they're not going to give you the choice. Like, hey, we'll send it back. It's broken, but we'll send it back to you. They're just going to be like, sorry, it's in the trash. It's like it's gonna be gone. So be forewarned. It's a factor. It's what it is. They're gonna give you-
Yeah, of course. I mean, you gotta know what you want, kind of thing. But I think it's cool that if you order from the Nintendo website, though, I don't know if this is new, but you could do a choose your own color thing, and you do a little 3D model with the Switch, so you can feel like pretty badass about it. So you don't have to order like, you don't go to GameStop and just buy like, oh, I only could get the purples or the gray or the red blue. Like you can order purple yellow or
Can you
something
do
like
that on the? I was gonna say the American site because I know you could on the Japanese one. I don't know if that ever came to North America. No, it looks like it. I'm on an American website. It says choose your own color. So
Yeah, it's really
Unoclay
cool
might be able to
because-
just do that rather than
You're
import it.
saying when you order a Switch, you can pick the colors. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay. So
Yeah, but it's more. You could pick the inside colors too, which make them even more unique. Like if you just literally go on like Google and just type in Nintendo Joy-Cons, they'll send you to Nintendo.com. Like I think it's the first link, and it says create your favorite color combo. But what makes it cool is you don't get the default. I don't know what they call the inside attachment part, but you could get its own custom color, which is really cool.
That's so cool. That is cool. I didn't know about that. Like, I mean, neat. Yeah, I like. What do you mean, Matt, about importing? Can you import the rare colors, like, and they work on an American Switch?
Well, I mean, like all the stuff is region free, and it's just controllers, so it would be fine anyway. But yeah, I know there's some websites like import game website. I don't want to stay on this too much longer because it's I know Play Asia, you can order stuff from different regions and import it that way. That's actually how I got my Taiko drum kit, because I basically bought a Japanese one and then just imported it.
Yeah.
So you can do that with games as well. And I haven't looked if they have Joy-Cons or not. I'm sure they would, because they have basically anything you want to import. But I mean, if the American site or North American site has lets you buy specific colors, I sent a link in the chat, then that'd be much easier.
I sent the screenshot in the chat, just be like, oh, here's a custom version of something, like the most common one kind of thing. It's cool. I didn't know they had a little bit more freedom to it, but at the same time, Matt, there is different colors from different regions, and or if you want something special, like, hey, I want the Smash Joy-Cons or I want the Dragon Quest Joy-Cons, you have to go to eBay for that, because I heard you could buy them separately in Japan or something like that, and people import it for you, etc.
It's funny. If you try to import the purple and yellow one from Japan, it's more expensive than just buying the freaking $80 pair from GameStop.
Dude, yeah. Sometimes I look at like some people sell the Dragon Quest Joy-Cons for like $300, and then it's like, or buy the whole system for $430, and I'm like, so you're selling the Switch and everything else for $130, but the Joy-Cons for $300. Yeah.
That's insane.
Like, all right.
Joy-Con party up in this chat here. But this is stuff people want to know about. They tune into a Nintendo show. They like Joy-Cons. Trust me.
I did know that.
Dude. I was obsessed with them for a while. So I have a custom pair of Joy-Cons, to be honest.
Nice.
Instead of buying new ones, I bought Super Famicom Joy-Cons. And the cool thing is that the Joy-Cons are programmed to have their own custom Switch color. So even my Super Famicom ones are light gray, like the Super Nintendo and the Famicom. And when I connect them to my Switch, it shows light gray, not dark gray Joy-Cons. So if you order them from like a custom guy, and let's say they're pink, more than likely when you connect it, they'll be pink or yellow in the Switch.
Oh, neat. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna kind of bust through the rest of this announcements quickly. Devolver Digital is having their own direct on July 11th, so they usually have a bunch of indie games that come to Switch, so check that out.
11.
Yeah. Gunvolt 3 is going to be exclusive to Switch. There's a trailer out. There's a new character with a sword in it, as opposed to the gun characters from the other ones. The Outer Worlds on Switch is getting a patch. It had significant frame rate problems and some other. It didn't also look as good visually. I mean, obviously it's going to be different on the Switch, but it was like pretty bad. So they're going to at least address the frame rate issues. They haven't announced when that's coming out, but I guess if you're interested in the game, keep an eye out for that, and hopefully it'll work properly. And then
this guy announces Outer Worlds over Smash. Sad day.
My friend downloaded it for Switch, and he's kind of a PC like Switch crossover hybrid. So he's got like a high powered PC that he plays a lot of stuff on, and then he plays Switch, and he got it for Switch, and he was like, this game looks like total trash. Like, that was his day one review. He was hating on it super hard. I hadn't been watching it, but that's straight from the mouth of a friend of mine that I trust. He was like, dude, what's up with this game? Because he wanted to know how. He wanted to compare it to Borderlands. He's like, does Borderlands look like trash like this? I was like, no, it looks pretty good. Like, looks decent. It's like, he's like, oh, okay, just checking.
Yeah, it looked like the textures when you first load up a game before it like goes through the several phases of textures. It's like the first level of detail is pretty bad. But and then the last piece of announcement news was Ninjala is released, and it surpassed 2 million downloads now. Like the other day, I wrote down 1 million, and then just before checking, apparently it passed 2 million. So it's live. If you want to play it, check it out. I haven't really played it much. I know Mike
and I
played it a bit.
Play what game?
Ninjala.
Yeah, I played it. So one thing I wanted to say was the story mode is kind of trash. I mean, you got to pay like $2 for it for the first chapter. I was like, it's kind of boring. But the multiplayer, it really grew on me. Like, you get like 4 weapon classes, and it's fun. It's just basically you either do a team battle 4v4, or you do a free for all kind of thing. And you start off with a sword, but you basically have every weapon from the start. The only thing that sucks, well, it does one thing I think Fortnite could have done or should learn from. Is what Dauntless does as well. Is you get, as you play, you unlock more stuff. But if you buy their season pass thing, you'll unlock the season pass stuff plus the regular stuff, at a little bit of a quicker rate. So it'll be like you're a regular silver tier, but you can buy the gold pass tier, and it'll be like, okay, as you level up, you get these things and you get extra special items, which is kind of cool. But you still have the chance of getting them without paying. You just got to double grind. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, you got to just put twice the amount of effort to get to a gold level versus somebody who's like, well, I'm gold and silver. Other than that, though, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's a free game. There's a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. But if you're going to download it, you can't play with your friends until you're level 5, which is kind of whack. But that's basically like you play 5 matches. It's kind of like Splatoon, where it's like, yeah, you got to play like 3 games. And then you were like, oh, I got a different weapon, and now I could do other things. So they don't want you just to be like, hey, let's team up, and I'm going to be terrible. And what if your friend was a high rank, and then he throws you in a ranked match kind of thing.
I'm surprised you like it so much. I played it for about an hour to maybe an hour and a half at most. I find it kind of boring, to be honest. Like, I did free for all. I didn't do any story mode. Do you have to buy the story mode? Because I didn't.
Yeah,
see
the
that.
story mode you had to pay. I paid like $2 for it because I was like, I'll make a video on the story mode. I think the story mode was so boring, and I let off with that. So when I played multiplayer, I was like, wow, this is so much better than story mode. Like, I like the game is not bad. Like, but yeah, it definitely, like, at first it definitely is boring because you're just like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And just, you don't really know how to finish anyone, and it's just like a million controls and stuff. But
Got a lot of controls. It's not as intuitive as Splatoon, even though it looks exactly like it's trying to be Splatoon. And it's like, I don't know. It feels like if like Splatoon wasn't about shooting, it was about melee attacks. It's like getting up on people and then doing like directional, like quick time event almost attacks, like where you have to pick the direction to like win a samurai face off. And like, I don't know. I don't see myself playing it more. I have to be honest. Like,
I love that face off thing when you both guard or do a special, and then it's like a little parry action.
I didn't hate that part of it. It's just like overall the experience felt like not my thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. To be honest, I'm barely gonna play it unless a friend asks me to do it or something like that.
If Eli or like Matt, you download it and play it, and if you have any different reaction, because Mike is like, I was surprised. Mike can be, listeners still know, Mike can be pretty harsh in the game sometimes, like come right at it, and like maybe usually I might be the guy that might be like, oh, I saw you're good in it, and I felt myself struggling to be interested after only a few minutes. I was like, I don't know, I'd rather just play Splatoon. Like, I was like immediately like, I'd rather play Splatoon because this looks like it, but it doesn't scratch the itch the same.
So I'm gonna try it out. I haven't downloaded it yet because I just haven't had the time. But like 2 years ago, when we were at E3, I remember playing it when it was first announced, and I remember it being pretty like slow and a little tedious and heavy, especially for a game that looked so slick and fast by the trailers. So I guess I'll check it out, and I'm curious to see how much of it actually changed in terms of just pure mechanics since we played that demo.
Like don't go into it expecting it to be Splatoon. Would be maybe a way to like it better, because it looks so much like it, and I'm a huge Splatoon fan, and so that was like possibly a factor in like me being like bored of it right away. I was like, well, it's not as good as Splatoon. Like, surprise, it's a free game. It's not as good as Splatoon, which doesn't really mean anything. It could have been, I guess, but.
Well, yeah, you always compare it to Splatoon because it looked, and I guess it almost felt like it. But for me, I didn't play that much Splatoon until like the super free demo that came out, and then and the other thing was like, as much as I love Splatoon, I'm not really good at it. Like, I'm just not good at third person shooters and all that. So I'm just like, oh, this is more of a third person brawler with a kind of with an RPS system, rock paper scissors, and like that part was like my favorite part because I'm like, oh, I'm constantly guessing. I'm like, oh, and like something I don't even know how it activates most of the time, but like it's just fun doing like. Just kind of going like, oh, we both had paper, we both had rock. In this, it's just green, blue, red arrow, and you choose a direction. But hey, the music's just as good as Splatoon. You know what I mean? Like it's not as like evident because Splatoon had more of like that weird squiddy, I don't know how to really call that, whatever they call it, but like the music's just as good, and it does, you do get a Splatoon vibe from it, but like I never felt like I was playing Splatoon. I just felt like I was playing a game that looked like it, but that was beyond going past the start screen. I never compared it like you were.
Yeah, I can't help it when it looks so much like that. I was thinking about it. It's probably just like,
Well, you have so many hours and years on Splatoon, so
yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut you off for a second. Eli says he's got to head out. So
all right, boys.
Nice to see you all, and
Nice,
until next time.
One last
See
thing
you.
before you go. How excited are you for the new Pokemon Snap? Oh shoot!
He left.
He left.
He couldn't take it. He's so excited.
He's so excited that his
No,
his
he
whole
said he
computer-
missed it. He said he missed it. But I'm gonna assume, like a normal person, he goes, "Wow, overrated Pokemon Snap. Maybe they'll actually fix it in the sequel.
Ouch!
Who knows?"
How dare you?
So that's definitely not my opinion. That's definitely what Eli was thinking.
So with that, let's get into the new news.
yeah, let's go.
Should've
Let's
said this before,
lead off the bombshell you just dropped.
Yeah, so they announced a new Pokemon Snap after 21 years, which is insane, especially because people were asking for the 3DS and on Wii U because it had cameras and gyro sensors, and it seemed like perfect time. But
Of course,
they decided
yeah.
to say, "Go away, we hate you."
Yep.
And yeah, they finally showed
Like
it
they
off.
should have.
No, how dare you?
Matt, how do you? So I'm assuming you're really excited for this.
Yeah,
Now,
no, it's
is this the system you wanted it for, or were you one of the? Oh, it should have been DS, 3DS. Would you have felt bad if it was on the phone? You know what I mean? Like,
If it was on the
when
phone,
did
it
you
would've-
give up on the dream?
Well, for one, I would have to have the dream in the first place to think that it would happen, which I didn't. Like, it would be like, oh man, it would be great, but it's probably not going to happen, especially because of before they did the Mystery Dungeon remake, they kind of stopped doing Pokemon spin-offs for a while, unless it was like on the phone. So like all the console
Pokemon
games.
Quest was on the phone, and
Yeah,
they had
all
Pokemon
the
Quest and Pokemon Masters, and then
Yeah.
like a few others, but
Pokemon
those
Go
are the
and
big ones.
all the other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, Pokemon Go.
Um,
I forgot about that.
yeah,
But yeah, no, the last one I could think of was the one you and Eli played, and they were the tactical RPG one when it was like ancient Japan Pokemon or something like that.
Oh, Conquest.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, technically, Pokken Tournament is technically the last spin-off. Like,
Yeah,
consoles,
that's.
but
When did that?
I always think that 3DS one as the main one.
That was when was Pokemon Tournament? It was 2015. Okay, so it wasn't 5-ish years. But yeah, anyway.
No, it was.
So
fun.
it's been.
That's a long time. Though.
Yeah, so it's been a while since they've like really bothered with the spin-offs, and people were getting kind of concerned. But no, it's like I don't care if it's on Switch versus 3DS or Wii U. It's better that it is on Switch because one, you can share pictures a lot more easily, which I've gotten into photo modes in games in the last couple of years. I think Spider-Man might have been the first, and then I kind of got into it with Shadow of the Colossus. And shout out to, not like they need the shout out because they're bigger than us, but to MinMax, that channel. I've been watching them. They're some Game Informer guys or ex-Game Informer guys, and they did a show called Photo Mode Snap, which is people would send them pictures of pictures they would take in photo modes in games, and sometimes they would be themed off of certain stuff. And I actually submitted one because I thought I made some good pictures. And I'm like, okay, I got to choose this one. And on like the last episode for the season or whatever, it made it in and it got the thumbnail, and I was just losing my crap.
Yo, that's
like,
awesome,
oh my gosh.
dude.
Yeah. So so I really like photo modes, and this is going to be just amazing.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks really pretty.
I hope they improve like every aspect of it. See, I don't want to hate Pokemon Snap, man. I just hate it because everyone thinks it was like so amazing, and I'm just like, the marketing around Pokemon Snap was amazing. It's at the peak of Pokemon, and then do you remember how it was, Clay? You used to go to this place called Blockbuster, so you might know. But when you would go to that place, you could print out the photos you did. Like, you'd bring your Pokemon photos, or like, I forgot, you bring your save file somehow.
Mhm.
And
probably
then
bring
you could
your
also use the
cartridge.
demo kiosk there. and you get all your photos of what you did. And I still have mine. I still
Oh,
have my
nice.
Pokemon Snap photos and all that. So like,
They had special dedicated kiosks for Pokemon Snap at Blockbusters. I never knew that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
And,
and remind me, Pokemon Snap was on N64, right?
correct.
yep. Only that was it. There was never like, hey, here's the Wii version remastered, or there was never like a VC version of it. Like it was like, you want to play that game?
Actually, they
That's
did
it.
put it on the Wii U. The
Oh,
did that?
virtual console one? Yeah, I didn't realize until
Wii
after
U.
where
Nobody owns that.
Easy Allies like made a joke because they said something about like Switch in it, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be a new one, isn't there?" And then like 2 years later, it happened. But
And humor me, like Pokemon Snap was literally just basically you walked around the world and tried to take a picture of every Pokemon or something like that, right?
yeah, so
yeah, and
here's
you throw apples at them.
yeah,
You
apples.
hit them in the head with apples.
Yeah, so I think you're cutting it a bit short, saying like, oh, people just have nostalgia for it, and it's not based on anything. But I think the difference is, okay, so back in the day, something like Pokemon Stadium, I would say there's nostalgia for that, but it wouldn't really matter today because the difference was with Pokemon Stadium, it's like, oh yeah, your Pokemon in 3D, and based off of pixel games, that's a huge jump. But obviously now all the games are in 3D, so it's not really special. Besides, the mini games were kind of fun. But the
Exactly, yeah, that's what made Pokemon Stadium like so amazing. It was like, oh my god,
but
Pokemon used to be this sprite.
Yeah, but the difference with Pokemon Snap is it isn't just taking pictures; it's being able to see all these Pokemon interact with each other in dynamic ways, and either they're doing it on their own or you're influencing it. And no other Pokemon game has actually really done that still. So I think it's still special in its own regard. Like, you're not going to forget when you throw an apple at Charmeleon, and then he falls into the lava, and then he evolves as Charizard
into the volcano and becomes Charizard. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or
I'm super glad that I let off by like talking about Fortnite and you guys made fun of me.
But
hey, but in Fortnite, did you throw an apple at someone and they got a ball?
Apples is the new season. Totally, you can.
Okay, so yeah, and guess what? Did you hit the B button and throw this rainbow-looking Pokeball that made a noxious gas and possibly poisoned or put them to sleep? No, I don't think so. No, but what makes Pokemon Snap cool, Clay, is someone it's an on-rails game, so you have to go a set path. But there's secrets in it. And if you find the secrets, actually, I think in the second or third level, you literally cannot advance the game until you find the secret. So I guess it's not a secret, but it is a secret. It's like Mario World when you're in the forest and you just go in a circle the whole time. And you're like, what the hell? I'm beating the level. Like, that's what it kind of does in the beginning. And that makes it really cool. To me, I always thought the gameplay just got slow and repetitive, because I was like, all right, like after like 3 or 4 levels, I was like, yeah, that's really it for me. Like, after I got like spoilers for anybody who's never played Pokemon Snap, you go to space and you see Pokemon 150, 151 kind of thing. But I never felt like there was never a purpose. To me, it was always a leisure game. And you guys know how I feel about games that it's like doesn't tell me I win. So it was I was just like, man, people love this game, but it was just doing nothing to me. But like in this one, like, I can see it. You know what? There's gyroscope on my Switch. There's IR sensor on my Joy-Cons. I could be a lot more involved in the game. And I think that's why I'm a little excited for it. And it looks clean. Like, the new graphics look good. But it was like, that's why I always kind of hated it, Matt. But you were right. It was you were living in the world of Pokemon. You were Jurassic Parking it without the Jurassic Park part.
There you go. That's something Unoclay can understand.
Yeah, so you get in the Jeep and Jeff Goldblum is, he doesn't have to worry that the Charizard's gonna kill you all. This time, Steven Spielberg or whoever made that movie is gonna be like, you know what? What if we left the dinosaurs indoors? I mean, in their respective habitat.
Not a popular opinion, but I think that movie kind of sucks because those 2 kids ruined the hell out of that movie. Like now, when I watch it, I'm like, if they would edit those 2 kids speaking out of that film, I could watch it. Because everybody else is awesome in it, but every time people look on the screen, it sucks. Like, oh
Clay, the point of it is not how the movie is. The point is that's what Pokemon Snap is.
Sorry,
all right. Matt, go on unless there's anything else you were secretly hiding.
No, I think that wraps it up. It'll be cool because it's now it can pull from like 8 generations of Pokemon, so there's going to be a whole different a lot of Pokemon to see that interact with each other in cool ways, because besides just ones they make up, I'm sure they'll put in some like weird canonical things, because if you read some of the entries for Pokemon, it's really weird, or they can get really weird. So and some of them are like this Pokemon hates this Pokemon and will fight and blah blah blah. So the only thing I'm hoping for is that they keep moments like that, and where like you can influence it. Like there's a Jigglypuff floating and being like hunted by Coughings, and then you could like kill the Coughings, and then the Jigglypuff would be like all happy. Like as long as you can do things like that, I'm cool. So, and you probably can, because it shows some.
I like the Jigglypuff, so now I get it. Now you brought me back.
now he's part of the game. All right, he's like, well, a Jigglypuff.
I know that. I know that guy. I love playing him in Smash. He's awesome. Yeah, no, I almost bought his amiibo the other day, loose at a store that I was at. I was like tempted, but then I remembered I have like 15 amiibos still in the box. I haven't opened.
No, and then you didn't buy it because it didn't have brown pants and an L sign over its forehead, and you're like, I don't want this amiibo. You're like, I could buy a season pass with this amiibo.
No, it was more that I wanted to buy actual video games, but hey, yeah, it was also that it had no Fortnite content. Like, what's this? I am not buying that.
I can't use this for Fortnite, and then he does it for.
This is not Battle Pass. Why would I buy it?
You're like, yo, how much V-Bucks for this? And he's like, sir, this is real life.
Hey, you know that V-Bucks? You've been playing Fortnite secretly. I can tell. Who's playing.
But no, Matt. Now I want to ask the other news of Pokemon. It's not really Nintendo as much, but how do you feel about the Pokemon MOBA, Pokemon League of Legends? Because I'm actually more interested in that than I am Pokemon Snap. I got into League of Legends during quarantine, so.
Yeah, so for listeners or Unoclay, I guess, or both, it is coming out on Switch, so you can play it there. So it is related. It looks interesting. A lot of people were pissed off because, they teased something else for a separate thing, and they all thought it was going to be like another remake, and it's just like a MOBA. But like looking at it for what it is, I think it looks interesting. It seems a lot more approachable than something like League of Legends, because one of the things I don't really like about PC games or like World of Warcraft or all that is that you have like 10 bajillion different buttons for different moves, and then you have to figure out like how to strategize. Ooh, I gotta have this buff and then this thing and that thing and all at once, and I'm like, that's way too much. I really don't want to learn all this crap, and also I don't really think
that is true. That is definitely a very like PC, like, hey, you want to get into this RPG or MMO game? All right, well, here's the first 20 buttons you need to know, and I'm like, oh, the first 20, right?
Yeah. Or like just, hey, you want to attack? Click on the screen with the mouse button. It's like, yeah, that's it's not really fun.
Now the thing is, though, this game is gonna be what's the word? It's gonna be on mobile as well as the Switch, from what I heard. Is it gonna release first on mobile or same time? Is there any more details on that?
I don't think so. I assume it's probably gonna be at the same time.
And you think there'll be crossplay with it, like for mobile and Switch guys?
I have to imagine. So
yeah,
because I can't see why.
What about PC though? How can I play my MOBAs without freaking my mouse? GG for me, boys.
You guys aren't excited for this. It's like, to me, it sounds more interesting than just a remake of a Pokemon game. Like
it's not a remake, no. It's
that's what I'm saying. That people thought it was gonna be a remake, and then like, oh, it's this other thing. I'm like, wait, this sounds completely different than a normal Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, it is. So what MOBAs usually are 5v5s, and what you do is you don't really I don't want to say you don't really like do as much actions. It's more of it's a very long kind of style of game. It's like 20 minutes per game, 20 to 30 minutes. I'm talking like that's what Pokemon's aiming to do. Usually like a good or a hard mobile game will be between 30 to 40 minutes. And what you do is you pick a role kind of thing, and you go around this giant map. And you only control one character, but there are gonna be like let's just call them AI characters. They call them in League, they call them creeps and minions. So you usually kill these minions to level up your guys so you could fight the other person, and you just have like 4 or 5 skills. It's all skill based, you know. It's not like there's auto attack, but like the auto attack is more of like it's its default attack every 1.2 seconds. But when you fight someone, another human, like so Matt's Blastoise and you're Charizard, and you guys are coming to the middle of the map, or you're playing League and you're a swordsman and somebody else is a hunter. What you want to do is like, well, I'm a hunter and my abilities are probably gonna paralyze him and increase my speed. Meanwhile, he's like Matt will probably be like, well, I'm just stronger than you. I'll just do these moves, etc., etc. And then you just got to factor in the human element, like, is somebody flanking me? You know, where am I, my map position? It really goes a lot into the strategy because, you know, it's not just 1v1, not just your lane, not just this. And I just think it's interesting because this is, for me, I'm interested in this because it's more of I'm controlling my Pokemon. And I've been playing League for a while now, for like 4 or 5 months, not like 13 years like everybody else, and it's just so it seems more Pokemon to me than playing Pokemon. Like, you know, like I'm gonna be the Pokemon, I'm gonna be doing my attacks, and I know how to coordinate, etc. But it's gonna be really different for everybody. I don't know if I explained it too well because League take me like an hour to explain, and then you guys can be like, oh, okay. Because watching League doesn't make sense. I'm telling you.
I've played before, and it always just looks like I'm watching like a high PC concept version of Diablo or something, where I'm like, I get it with all the skills.
I always thought it was Diablo and Warcraft too, but it's like it's not, but it is. You know, it's like very strange.
How competitive it is, so I figured there's like some deep strategy to it when you watch it, like vaguely, and it's just like I can tell it's not for me. Like you guys said, too many buttons. Too PC for me, too many menus.
Well, this is supposed to be an easier version. Like, you know, that's the point. That's what Matt said. He didn't like how it's all about buttons. Like, that's what it's going to be cool. Because, like, if this is for Switch and mobile games, it's going to be maximum 5 buttons. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way we're going to use, I need all 4 shoulder buttons and the 4 touch buttons. And these, like, you know, like half of them are going to be somewhere to move. 2 or 3 of them are going to be an ability. And maybe, like, one of them is going to be access the shop or something like that. You know, and access the map.
The interesting thing about this is that you can beat up weaker Pokemon, and then when your Pokemon levels up, they can also evolve, and then you can learn new moves. But rather than have, you know, a set of 15 or 20 different moves, or however much a MOBA usually has, you can choose which move you want to take, and then like replace another one, like the actual.
And
Pokemon
that's what
games.
makes it different from League.
So you can choose
with League,
like
you get 3
strategize which
abilities
moves you want, which is
Yeah.
cool.
No, that's really cool. I didn't know you get to do different moves because, like, in League, you get one ability, and it's like, okay, I got to level up this ability. And then, you know, you get hit a max level 8 with the ability kind of thing, but you want to choose the correct abilities at the right time. And this Pokemon one, that's really cool. Like, so it could be like, I could learn Flamethrower, I could learn Seismic Toss or something like that. So that's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious to see this more. Did they show any video of it? Because I hadn't seen it. Like, I didn't even know about it until you guys were talking about it. Are they showing it yet, or is it just announced?
They did. They had like a 5-minute or something. They didn't really explain how long the matches are actually supposed to be, but they did have.
More of a teaser trailer.
Well, they did play like an actual match, and then like cut in between the games, and that's probably better. I sent it in the chat than like the trailer, because the trailer, like 90% of the trailer is just other Pokemon games leading up, which doesn't help.
I didn't know they released like, more, like, you know, a video dedicated on it, but because I seen only the announcement trailer, and I'm like, well, it's just them walking and like the character select thing, you know, like something basic. Like, of course, you can't be like, hey, here's the game, and they show you a 35 full minute game of it. People are gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah, they showed a few minutes. It's about 7 minutes in where they actually start playing.
The only real question is Chandelure in it? Is Chandelure going to be playable?
Oh, God. Yeah, and the ice cream play. No, it's going to be the popular Pokemon. It's going to be Pikachu, Lucario, Charizard, Mewtwo, maybe a guy with fists, maybe like 3 more dragons, and like a fairy type. That's probably going to be...
There's no...
They have some listed.
Nobody wants Jigglypuff.
Everybody wants Jigglypuff.
They have Clefable, which is another pink thing.
Yeah, they got another pink Pokemon.
It's like the twin to Jigglypuff.
You lost me now. I don't care.
McClay, what about Machamp? Don't you want to play as a 4-armed jacked bra?
Missing No, or whatever you guys call it. Missing No?
Yeah, that's what you want to be. The old Pokemon glitch. Missing No. I always thought it was Missingo, by the way, when I was a kid. Because I was like, this is a Pokemon, you know?
No. Even I know. That's ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah, what a dumbass. Yo, what are you, like 5 back then?
Fake
Moron.
You fake gamer.
All right. Well, since
Well,
we're on that, Matt, were we about to go to this other popular Switch game? Mm-hmm.
No, not at all.
With ramen noodles. Yeah.
Well, there's one other thing I think we'll touch on before that.
All right.
It's coming out this month because now it's July 1st, so it's July. Paper Mario: The Origami King was announced
Oh hell yeah!
about a
dude.
month ago or so. I forget when, and then like sometime after they
just
give a
dropped
new
the trailer out of nowhere.
Yeah, so that's how they're doing news now for, I guess, while the world is in quarantine or continuing. They're just going to drop things on Twitter. But yeah, they just
I don't
dropped
like
a
that,
trailer.
man. I don't like
I know.
that. Everybody steals the direct, and now they just rando announce
They're like,
trailers,
man, everyone's
Twitter
stealing
stuff.
our thunder. We got to change it up. We can't be following all these people.
That's basically what they said before. Like, you know what? We're tired of this. We're tired.
Like, screw all y'all. Y'all, you taking our video presentations? We're gonna change it, and then you're gonna have to follow us again. You're a bunch of shit.
They're like, shit, man. I didn't know I was supposed to just drop the game. Nobody's supposed to know at all that there was a game they wanted being released with no warning at all. All right. I woke up and I was like, Paper Mario, and I'm like, yeah, okay, like.
So speaking of Paper Mario, like I got this sense from I saw comments from you, Matt, on Twitter. You sound like you're not thrilled with the way they're messaging about it. Could you explain that? You sound less than thrilled with Nintendo's messaging about what this one's going to be like.
It's because they're liars.
I don't know about the message, but I mean, I kind of gave up that they were gonna do the kind of style I wanted like a while ago. So I'm just like, oh well, new one. Let's see what it is. That kind of what I expected, but not for me.
So explain that. You just want them, like, if I'm picking up on what you're laying down, you just want them stick to the classics, go back to the originals. Like,
well, that's what everybody wants. That's the thing. Like, okay, Clay.
So
the first 2 games are traditional RPGs with amazing writing.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, we're going to change it up. And they've done that for more Paper Mario games are changed up than they are actually like the original games.
It's funny.
So it's like, oh, we're going to do this. And it's like, okay. But you haven't done the original thing that everybody loved. And Matt, when the hell was 1,000 Year Door? 2002?
Oh man, yeah.
3?
I think it was 2004.
Yeah. So that was the last RPG Paper Mario out there, So
What I'm specifically asking about is, Matt, go on.
Yeah, I can explain in more depth about what I like. Let me write this one last thing. So yeah, the thing that I like the most about the other ones that they haven't really. There's 3. I was gonna say there's 3 main cores. I don't know if that's exactly true, but the 3 main things are that people like about Paper Mario is the story, which I know you think is silly, but like they made interesting stories before. The partners, so like actual characters that follow you around that you can use in battle and like have their own personalities, and then badges, which are like different items you can equip to like change
They're
either your
enhancements.
moves. Yeah, you can basically add new moves with it or do other special attacks. And
like Clay, so I don't know if you ever played, but let's just say Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, you could get a spin jump badge, and instead of doing your regular jump, it'll be like, oh, Mario does this cool curved damage attack. It's it's awesome.
It's
And
more
it
than that.
works
It was
because
like you could get a badge that was multi-bounce. So rather than only bounce on one enemy, you could bounce on multiple in a row.
Or you could jump on spike enemies, and that's like required in like 1,000 Years, and not in Paper Mario 64. The desert badge, like you have to find the spike badge because at one point almost every enemy has spikes, and they have like really high defense or like hammer won't work there, and it's like, okay, wow, like this is a different type of strategy. Plus, it changes the gameplay, kind of thing.
Don't get me wrong. I love 1,000 Year Door. I love 64. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love those.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's more that Matt just sounded like, and I think I'm just doing this for the sake of like debate.
Yeah,
No, Matt's part of the majority here, though. Matt's part of the majority here.
I think I know the answer. I mean, it's like, I guess like I haven't seen enough of it to feel like worried. So I'm like, well, maybe it'll be good, And I know that's what they did with Sticker Star and all that stuff when we got burned before or whatever. But are you just kind of like, you feel like you've been fooled too many times and you're just like, nah, like I'm not even gonna hold out hope at this point, Matt? Or
Well, the telltale sign for me is how the battle system works. So in Sticker Star, the thing was, oh, you don't really have any basic moves. You can just pick up stickers and use them. And the problem with that is it basically, once you see something like that, the rest of the game is irrelevant, because if you don't have experience points and all of your attacks have to be picked up like outside of the game or through battles, then it's actually more beneficial to avoid battles, because then you're just using your moves that could be saved for like mandatory battles. So it's like, okay, well, why am I battling this character if I don't get anything from it? Yeah, and you're just losing. It's like you either end up with nothing or like break even. So once you see something like that, then it's like, okay, well, the rest of the game is pointless. That was the same with Color Splash. You could get paint, but like it didn't really matter.
With Color Splash anyway. Though, Color Splash had more game puzzles though. See, like why I for me, I always say Color Splash was good, but that's because Sticker Star was so bad it didn't matter what was gonna get rolled out. I was like, man, this game's gonna be better, because it was better, because anything is better than crap. But it was like, I'm telling you, Sticker Star was so bad. Like, the best way I could explain it is I gave the game to my younger brother, who, he's a big Paper Mario fan. And I remember he knocked on my door at like 2:30 in the morning. He goes, I'm not playing this anymore. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm done. This game sucks. And I was like, holy shit. Like, it was like I forced my way through it, but exactly what Matt said. There was no experience points in that game. You just played a battle to do a battle. And I was like, why am I doing this? I'll just save all my shiny stickers. In Color Splash, they're like, okay, let's make things matter, which, was good. But at the same time, it was like, you didn't have to battle. You only had to do the mandatory battles, which were a little bit more frequent. In Sticker Star, it was like, dude, just walk to the end with all your stuff and you'll be fine. Like, it was literally just go to the end. And when you read this, and it's like, oh, Paper Mario looks good. And hey, we're not giving you the OG way, not this, that, and this. And it's like, all right, well, how's the battles gonna go? And it seems the battles now are based on a there's stickers again, I noticed, but it seems it's based on how the mapping is, which, all right, I guess. Like, they gave us partners, so that's one win, which should have been a mandatory part of every Paper Mario game. But the one thing I am worried about is I just don't want these battles to be, useless again. Like, I think Color Splash was fine, but I'm not looking for Color Splash 2. If anything, I would rather have a Super Paper Mario 2 over a Color Splash 2.
Well, the thing about this is I'm still like hesitant to see where it's going to go, because I think the moves, whatchamacallit, I don't know if this is true, but from what I'm hearing, the moves aren't one use, which is like what Sticker Star was, but they will still break, just not as often, which still is like not great. And it doesn't seem like there's experience, so it seems like it might have the same problem again, where it's like there's no point to doing battles. It's just that they delayed it a bit. The battle system seems kind of neat, but like as I said, if the whole point is like,
if there's no end goal for the battles, then there's no point. Like, look, I don't.
That's
like,
my main issue is if all you're doing is collecting attacks and that's all you get, and it's like, man, I really need to think that someone's doing
to me though, Color Splash. I mean, not Color Splash. To me, Origami King right now seems more of an adventure game than an RPG. That's what I'm getting the vibes from, and that's fine. I mean, like, look, I love the paper puzzles, and I like how we have, now we have partners, even though you said we might not use them in battle, and but it seemed the trailers have shown the game to look funny. It seems like the clever writing is kind of bad, because Color Splash had kind of clever writing, but the problem also with Sticker Star is every character was Toad. Also, I forgot to mention that there was only Toad, and there was only one town. It was like, bro, you literally went back to the town. talk to the same 5 toads that didn't change anything, and then you go on with your day. This game, we have a full world again. Mario's got Springman arms now, which looks cool and looks to be like a part of part of puzzle solving and fun stuff we could find out. But yeah, I would definitely. I'm definitely a little bit more cautious. I don't have my hopes up for like another. The first 3 games. Like, look, I really like Super Paper Mario. It took me a while. The first time I played it, I hated it. But when I replayed it, I was like, this game's really not that bad. Like the story is probably one of the better stories of all the games. But yeah, at the same time, I understand why people are mad at Super Paper Mario. But when you go back after playing like 2 worser ones, it's really not too bad. But yeah, I'm just worried it's going to turn more into. They're turning Paper Mario more into an adventure series than what it should be, is like a lighthearted RPG. Because we lost Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Mario and Luigi quote and their name. I don't really know. We lost that series, and there's no Super Mario RPG anymore. So this is the last Mario RPG, and it's not an RPG.
And the other thing is that what I find hypocritical is they're like, oh man, we want to do new things, but they're consistent on like making the battles pointless, but also they're like slowly adding things in that people want, but not completely. So they're like, we know you want partners, but we're not really going to give it to you. There'll be one-offs that pop in now and again that you may or may not be able to use in battles, or
yeah, they're
like,
part of the
we
chapter
sort of
or
have
some
badges, but it may not work exactly the same and blah blah. So it's really like this. I don't have a less stringent word on it, but it's kind of insulting. It's like, we know what you want, but we're not going to give it to you, and we're going to give it to you in a crappy way. It's like, just stop. Either do it or do something different. Like actually different. Like Super Paper Mario, people hated it first, and then they grew to like it because it still kept like the core of the series, not necessarily the RPG, but like a lot of the elements that people liked.
It was still a good story, and it was like, there was still a point of killing enemies and doing things. It wasn't just like, oh, I exist. And man, I get you. Hey, we want to try new things. Oh, okay, but I still see stickers on there. So how is that new when it's 3 straight games with stickers? You know what I mean? Like that's
at least
that's such bullshit.
At least in this one, to their credit, they actually are doing something different with the battle system. So it's like, okay, maybe this will be able to stand out in its own kind of way. But it's just kind of like, for Unoclay, it's just like the 3rd time where we're going through this again. It's like, yeah, I'm not really. It's like, I guess jaded, but it's like, I'm not going to get my hopes up for something that, like, I've been through this before.
10 minutes into the question, you've answered me. Because, I mean, I get that. And that's like, I think, like, we're overlooking one major thing here, which is not, you guys, like, and me may not be the target audience here. But I mean, to me, this looks the most like Super Paper Mario, which I was not in love with. I thought it was definitely a step down from the good ones, the 2 super classic, awesome, best ones that we all know about. Mm-hmm. But everyone liked it. And when I look at the pictures and screenshots of this one, I get a feeling they're going to aim in that direction. Like, so it's going to be a little better than what we've seen recently. The art looks so good. Like, I mean,
oh yeah, they do. The graphics look great. I mean, the end of that trailer with the Donkey Kong head. I mean, the Samus head with the Donkey Kong head in the background and all that. That seems cool.
It's beautiful looking of the game. We're skipping over that. It does look great, but I don't know. I can't wait because you guys will probably get it before me.
I'm gonna day one, baby. Day one.
I look forward to hearing reviews because like it looks so nice. I want it to be good. And what I said, I kind of was thinking of Matt. When I responded to Matt on Twitter, I think it was, like, I said, like, the thing that gives me hope is, like, we are living in another golden age of Nintendo right now. They're taking classic series and kicking ass with them, even if they're changing direction entirely. And, like, if there's ever a time, like, now's it. Like, if they want to do something different,
Like, why are you lying on stream and to my ears? Doing classic and better? I'm pretty sure Breath of the Wild came out, okay?
I know what you're thinking, but everyone else disagrees, and it's like, hey, it's like, this is the time. If they're going to do something, I give them the trust right now. That's all I can say. It's probably going to be misplaced on this one because you guys have analyzed it a lot more than me, but at a glance, I look at it and I see a really pretty game.
I'm excited though. No, I'm not skeptical. Like I understand where Matt's coming from, but like all I can remember is having a good time with Color Splash. So I'm just like, you know what? Like I have my hopes up. I don't have my hopes up that it's going to be the RPG experience I want, but I have my hopes up that it's going to be the Paper Mario funny, good time experience that I want. So
Cool. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it because it doesn't look. It just like it's like the same with those Yoshi games. Like some of the Yoshi games now are great. Like Yoshi Yarn was really good. Like a really good Yoshi game. Not quite what I want, but it was really good, and the art style was cool. And then, you guys, I think Eli had played the one that was on Switch and said, no, it's not at that level. It looked really great. So I know they can trick us with that kind of stuff. Like
I have Crafted World, and I mean, it's cool. Like, I like the demo of it, but yeah, I get where he came from. And I think for me, like, I just haven't enjoyed it. I liked Yoshi's story on 64, but like, nothing will ever top like Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. And that's a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like every other game, I'm like, maybe it'll be like that. And then it's not.
That is a problem in Nintendo. The good thing, that's where we could almost wrap it. Because like, I was like, I want to be positive. Because like, I want to remember they are capable of doing it. They do it sometimes. Then they come along with a Mario Odyssey. And like, everyone's tired of new Super Mario Brothers. And they just come along with Odyssey and they're like, bang.
Sorry about that. But yeah. I get where you're coming from with that.
On us, and it's like, that's it. They can do it, so it's worth, like, even if they're gonna swing and a miss a lot of the time, sometimes it's gonna be like bang, like bang, like what'd you think we're not Nintendo, like that, so
yeah. I mean, look, I'm excited for Breath of the Wild too. Like, you guys know I hate Breath of the Wild with a passion, but like, I'm gonna get Breath of the Wild too. Maybe they're gonna do some changes, maybe they're not, but like, I'm excited because it's Nintendo.
I like that.
For you, getting it and being excited are two different things, so I'm surprised you're excited. Like, I wouldn't be surprised that you would buy it, but I am surprised that you'd be excited.
I know.
I mean, I was disappointed when I heard it, but I'm excited to play it. Like, like I am a Nintendo fanboy. Like, I'm going to play the game, so I'm like, you know what? It's a first-party Nintendo game. Can't wait for it to come out. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. But like, I could turn it on 3 seconds later. You guys can see in Skype, or or when we finally move to Discord. Or something. It'll be like, man, this was the I can't believe they made the Coming of Poop #2. Okay, and I bought it. And
Anyhow, yeah, okay. I like what that comes out this month, so I look forward to hearing you guys' reviews. I'm just so. Hey, Luigi's Mansion is before that in my queue. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, bro! I can't talk to a non-Odyssey guy when it's year 3.
Hey, I'm not alone. It's funny. I was just listening to a really popular gaming podcast. I think it's Watch Out for Fireballs. And I think one of their hosts is the exact same as me. He said something like, I still haven't played Odyssey because I'm kind of saving it because it's like, it looks so amazing. I just don't want to touch it yet. And it was funny.
Bro, I'm about to play Super Luigi Odyssey because it's like if somebody made like a hack of it before you even play Odyssey. Okay? Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Yo, that was one thing I did forget to mention. I've really been playing more Mario ROM hack games, so it's really cool to see what the community does. So I've been playing a new Super Mario Brothers Wii ROM hack called Newer Super Mario Brothers. It's way better than the Wii version. And I was playing something called Cloudy SMBU, which is just a different version of Cloudy Super Mario Brothers U, and they're both pretty good. So nice. It's very cool, the Mario community.
Here's a question based off of since you're talking about mods. Is it possible to play to use Smash mods without modding the console? Because I know you could do that with Wii U, but I haven't looked into the scene.
With the Wii U, that was possible because of like the discard. Yeah. But honestly, I haven't done. I've seen many mods for Smash Ultimate. And I'm talking not just skin costumes. I've seen game mods and all that. Like people made their own training mode packs and all that stuff. But I wouldn't know. But I know to get them, you go to GameBanana.com. But other than that, I wouldn't really know.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, because I remember on Wii U, you could just like basically the gamepad, you could have it connect to the internet. Like you would just go to I think you would go to the browser and then you could go to this website where it like loads it into your memory or whatever, and you could do that technically without modding it. But yeah.
We just know you're not modding your system, Matt, because you're the guy that doesn't even take your Switch out of the dock. Because it's too precious.
Take it out of the
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I was playing it. Oh, you know how dedicated I am to playing it out of the dock? Well, maybe not dedicated. I made a sunshade thing so that I could sit in the sun outside and play my Switch, so I could be warm and toasty and play video games.
Off the property is what I meant. Off the property.
Well, I mean, like, I'd have to get out of my house more for that, but I mean, I did take it. Hey, to be fair, I did take it to E3, so you can eat it.
No, it's like 4 years from Congress.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I don't really go out much, so where am I going to take it? Am I going to be like that Karen? Oh, I'm going to go to a rooftop party and bring my Switch. My friends don't have rooftops to have parties on. Can't do that. What do you want from me?
I love your. To be fair, I took it to E3 2016, bro.
It was 2018.
Hey, he's
so
got that on.
Get it right. And I would have went this year, but, you know, the Earth decided to implode, so can't help that.
I love
Hey,
it.
man, freaking, yo, we haven't had a Nintendo Direct. I'm so disappointed, man. I thought we'd at least get one. I'm like, they had to prepare the E3 one. Like, there's no way. But they don't release anything.
Yeah, that Mario trailer definitely would have been in it. But,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
there is one last, I guess there's a couple, but we'll go on to the one major one and see where we go from there. The one that I cut you off with. So Min Min was revealed as the next ARMS, or as the ARMS character for Smash, and has obviously released. She's been out for like a day or two. What did you guys think of Min Min coming out? And then we can probably talk about what she plays like.
Yeah, what was your initial reaction, Glenn? And then, you know.
I was psyched. I was psyched that she seems like a great pick. I haven't played her yet, so I'm going to reserve my comments. I thought the cartoon was great. The cartoon, like, I really like the art style of that cartoon they did. I thought it was really classy, kind of funny reveal to, like, have just that, like, kind of silly anime, like, style, like, cartoon to, like, like, reveal her or whatever. Like, you know, I like that. It was neat. It was cool. I thought it was funny with Kirby and the ramen and whatnot. You know, I don't know. She looks like an interesting character. I'm interested to hear the analysis from you boys who played with her. You know, so, you know, I was fine with the ARMS character. That's all I can say. I was fine with it. I think it adds an interesting dimension to the game. You know, I played ARMS. I liked it, like we talked about before. I didn't love it. I sold it, you know, but I didn't hate it. I think ARMS 2 could be a good game if they figure out a way to make that game into more than it was. You know, like make ARMS be a bigger game. It'll be a better game. But you know, Min Min's a cool character, whatever. She wasn't my favorite, but she was certainly a very viable character in ARMS. So, but yeah, how's she play? I'm curious. I haven't even seen a video of her yet. Besides the reveal trailer.
She is.
For me, I didn't know too much about ARMS, but I thought the Ribbon Girl was gonna be the character for, like, I was like, oh, it's gonna be the female whatever spring guy is, spring man or some shit, and I was like, okay. And then when it came down to the mummy guy and her, I was like, okay, either character is really cool. I didn't want that twin telly person. I was like, man, as long as they don't make it, I'll be happy. But yeah, I know a lot of people like the mummy guy, and he looked really cool. He said like his theme song was cool, but when she made it, I don't know, like I was like, all right, cool, another character. I was totally into the trailer, the showcase thing that Clay was talking about. I thought that was funny and was unique in itself. But playing her, definitely a different character. Gameplay wise, I say she's the worst Ditto in the game. Like, so boring, dude. Like, she makes the Ditto actually feel like ARMS, which is kind of strange, but a Ditto is when you fight the same person, guys, because Ditto copies.
Gotcha.
But
I thought you meant like the actual Pokeball Ditto because it transforms into your
yeah,
character.
no, it's like a mirror match is
yeah,
usually
yeah.
the common term. It's
Gotcha.
the common term. But yeah, so I don't like the mirror match. I just think that's boring. But she's so unique. She's so different, and it's really cool. Like I really do have fun playing with her. And again, it's just it's classic Sakurai. He brought the element of ARMS into Smash, and I think that's really cool. And I think the character has really cool design. Everything about it is very cool. Too bad ARMS, I think, is a terrible franchise and a shit game, but because they make boxing slow and not fun. But Min Min's cool, and I'm glad that they had a little bit more representation. And I guess it was an easy one for them because it's in house. So
yeah. No, that's exactly what I thought. Like, watching the reveal, it's like what we were kind of hoping for when we heard it was going to be ARMS. Like, wait, it's going to be this character with like really long reach, and then doing that weird thing with the A/B being each of your fists is like a separate punch button. That's crazy. Like, completely.
Yeah, it's so, dude. The first time I did it, I was like, yo, this is the weirdest thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't understand what was going on.
being able to change out your different arms in the match, kind of like some of the other characters can change weapons during the match. It's like that's really cool. Like, I mean, does she seem viable as a competitive character? Does she seem OP? Like, what's that kind of stuff? Like, what do you?
I don't know. I mean, she's really good at edge guarding. Like, that's kind of the name of the game with her.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think any rushdown character or overrange character can beat her. I feel like a sortie can really kind of mess her up, kind of thing. But no, she's cool. But call her like we can call her Ike Light also, because everything she does you have to follow from Nair, neutral air, and then that's how really you get all your combos started and everything going. But definitely unique. Yeah, you're gonna, when you play the character the first few times, you're gonna be like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna be like, I just, it's not. It's just the character that you can't just pick up and it's like, well, it's Smash. I'll just pick her up and I'll just play her. Like, no, it's definitely not a pick up and play character though.
Right.
No, yeah, she definitely takes some getting used to. I'm still trying to get used to her because it's so different. But I'm enjoying playing her. She's, as Mike said, a lot different than any other character. Good or bad, take it as you will. So a couple of things I like about her. I like her Dragon Smash attack because you can obviously extend your attack, but you can also like shoot out a laser if you press A at the end of it. If you do the Smash version,
and you can hold on to that laser.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. So you don't have to hit A at it. So you could leave your arm fully extended out, and then you hit A, and like a second later or something like that, or like later on while you leave it there. And so you could leave it as like a trap. You know what I'm saying, man? Like when they're over the edge.
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I didn't know
God
that.
bless. Yeah, no, it happened to me. I was like, oh. And I was like, what the heck was that? It was pretty cool.
But yeah, it's cool because you can angle that laser too. So it's like if someone hits you or, you missed the first time, it's like, oh, whoop-de-doo. And then you can shoot the laser and it's like, oh, gotcha. I went a bit farther. And then like being able to use two arms at once, it's like if the first one misses, you can send the next one. And, I think if you're a pro, you'll probably be able to catch that. But if you're an average person, you might be like, you hit the one arm and then, oh, crap, safe. I took my shield down and I got hit now. So that's cool. And then also being able to hit like in front or in back. So usually the way I play, or maybe it's wrong, is, if you miss the first attack, you might dodge roll or move away. But in this case, you can just move your arm or move your other arm into the other direction and not even move at all. So it's like, oh, right, I have to play this character like completely differently because I have this option to hit behind me even when, my first attack missed. So I think a lot of that stuff is really cool. It's just going to take some more getting used to because you're like, oh, right, I have an option in the middle of my other option failing. So
how's her stage and the music and all the stuff, the accoutrement that come with her?
The stage is kind of neat. I'm not really a fan of
weird.
Like,
there's like this weird boost pad thing. I don't really play ARMS, so I had no idea what it was, but it like sent me flying. I have no idea, dude.
That's just a feature of ARMS. Basically, when you're fighting, like since it is a boxing game, you don't really have jumping so much as you use the boost pads to like leap way up in the air and kind of hit people down below you. It's kind of like,
oh, okay.
It's like,
thank you. That
like
makes
jumps. Like you can do these like skyrocketing jumps that you're like gonna beat the person down while you're coming down on them and stuff. It's a big part of the strategy of ARMS to like be jumping around a lot to like make people miss you with their arms. That's kind of part of it. So
okay,
yeah. And then there's the things at the ceiling, so you can like hit those if you get you won't just go flying out. I think it's kind of neat. I'm not really a fan of the DLC stages basically being Battlefield with just a different coat of paint because that kind of sucks. Honestly, it's like,
yeah,
I wish
that,
you did something
that does
new.
happen a lot. That does happen a lot.
But in terms of like just another Battlefield, I think it like does some neat stuff with the spring pads and the like the barriers at the top that are like kind of open, kind of not, and then I forget if it happens in the hazardless or whatever versions, but like the character can bring over items like in ARMS itself, which is kind of a cute nod. So I think it's kind of neat in that sense. And then obviously your arms extend like the full stage, which is kind of just outside the spring pads because that's too far, but I think that's neat. So I'm enjoying it. I'll have to play more of her.
Does she eat ramen when she taunts or anything? How are her taunts?
No, they're very basic taunts, dude. They're like,
They're all from the
"Hi-ya,"
game,
you know,
I
and then
think.
pose in front of camera.
Yeah. Okay.
And her final smash is generic final smash. So
Yeah, it's all the ARMS characters. Yeah, I saw the video of that.
yeah,
They
it's
cut
like
out
it's
some of the
it's
good
Shogun's
ones,
final
though.
smash. You know?
They cut out my
That-
boy
that-
Helix from the final Smash. Sakurai, you jerk.
Wait, what happened? They didn't
The-
put Felix in?
So in the final Smash, it only has like a handful of characters. So like
Oh, okay.
some of the other characters are missing.
I didn't realize it wasn't all of them. Okay,
Yeah.
but you're just saying it wasn't just
Oh,
Felix.
I did think it was all of them. Huh, I didn't know. Well,
Well, but
Oh, that's cool. Like,
I'm just
Where do you-
curious.
yeah, like to be honest, it's you know, she is cool. She's definitely, you know, like you know, it sucked. I think it was the worst part was hearing it was going to be an ARMS character, but you know, they made the right choice. You know, the character just kind of it has that Nintendo feel.
yeah.
Maybe it probably sparked some, you know, people were like, oh, maybe I'll pick up ARMS again, and then they played it for a second, and they stopped. But you know, I just think I think the music is cool, and I like the vibrance of ARMS. So like I like the theme behind ARMS. So that's why I don't mind the character and all that. I'm not gonna be. I told you guys I really can't get butthurt unless it's gonna be another Fire Emblem character. So it's like, all right. Like I don't really care if they're taking rando Nintendo characters. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, Goomba's gonna be next. Like, all right, whatever. But as long as it doesn't have a sword and you know the same fair, nair, and up throw and down throw and etc.
ARMS is a series that's like where Splatoon was a hit the first time they tried it, like just nailed it the first time. ARMS feels like it's like where they didn't nail it the first time. It has potential. Like trust me, it does. It's got potential. They need to figure some things out. They need to figure some things out.
I mean, Splatoon always felt good, even from the global test fire. Even though I didn't own Splatoon 1, I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, I wanted to play every day of the demo. ARMS, I didn't want to play any more of the demo. That's the way I always look at it.
That's exactly my point. It's like where what they did with Splatoon was like a lucky hit the first time. They got like completely right. ARMS feels like rushed a little bit. They wanted to have stuff on Switch. But like I'd say let's not count them out. You know, like they're clearly gonna do an ARMS 2. Like they don't put the character in Smash and then not do an ARMS 2. So like, hey, who knows? You know, it's me and Matt enjoyed ARMS for a few hours. Like we defended it before. You know, it's like it was fun for a little bit with your friend. Then you got bored of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It should have been a full price release. It should have been maybe a little cheaper, like a $40 or $30 game. You know, and then but what else?
Sure. Just a quick question before moving on, Mike. Which other ARM type have you used? I've just been using the Megawatt because I feel like it's nice to have a different one. But I don't really like the circle thing.
The Saw, I call it that.
Yeah.
So I grew to love the Saw after like 10 matches, so that's forever. But I was like, okay, like remember it has more range, but it doesn't do as much damage or have the knockback. So I kind of like it as a like, haha, messing you up. You thought you were gonna land cleanly or something like that. Or like when I try to edge guard, I try to use that one because instead of using the laser dragon thing, which most people use, I'm like, well, it has the most range. I'm not just talking forward; I'm talking up and down.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like a very light hit, so I find those kind of annoying. I like to use the dragon with the kunai with chain, the ball. I kept calling it kunai with chain, just the ball and chain. So the ball has a lot of heavy knockback, and though it's a lot slower, I think it's a really good mix-up tool because sometimes it's just so much slower than everything else going on in the game that I'm a really big fan of it. Granted, though, like it is obvious, like when they're 80-90%, I want the ball out because I want to kill them quick.
Yeah.
But no, I the only thing I actually haven't used the double dragon laser arms as much. Even though I like the dragon fist is my favorite one. It's I've never done double dragon fist. I'm usually dragon with the ball.
Yeah, same. I find the
so
circle
Clay,
thing
you
is
switch
too
your arms with down B.
Sure.
So, yeah, it is. It's basically. You know, it depends on how you play the situation. I mean, you could lead off with the ball and like, I want to get a lot of damage early on, you know. But that's what makes her cool, you know. Everybody could play her differently.
Cool. Well, that's good. That's a good reaction. So, like, very quickly, because we've been on this call for forever now. Like, if you guys had to rank your top 3 DLC characters, does she make it? Like, does she
No.
get in? Like, yes or no? I can't quite tell what you're saying.
No.
No, it's a no. She doesn't make the top 3. You're just gonna
Nah,
say
she's definitely not top 3.
You're gonna-
I mean, I'm not talking like tier list wise. I'm just talking like all the factors,
Yeah,
gameplay, music. I'm talking every single factor.
Yeah. What's immediately off the top of your head your top 1 or 2 then that she doesn't cut out? Banjo.
Yeah, Banjo's always gonna be number 1. Like from straight up DLC, Banjo will always be number 1. Does not matter. Like even if I don't like playing him, like he'll always be number 1 for the amount of hype.
Right.
So after that, I think Terry was definitely the
Terry.
funnest one to play.
Right
He's
on.
definitely the funnest one.
Right on. Matt, for you, does he make the top or does Min make the top or no?
I don't know. I think it's kind of early to say because like I'd have to get more used to her to see if I would like her or not. I'm gonna say my top 2 are Banjo and Hero, and then whether you count it or not, probably Piranha Plant.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It's like not in the
I don't
past,
really
but
count,
like sort of it, like
Fringe.
whatever. It's
The fringe.
technically DLC, but
The fringe. Yeah.
I don't really like
yeah.
Joker or Terry. And Byleth is like, Byleth isn't bad, but it's also like saying it's like kind of just another sword fighter. So it's like, can I really put them on the list because they just feel like another easy like pick up and play character? I don't know. I don't think Byleth. I do like Byleth's side special where like it curls up, which I think is cool. But even though Hero is also a sword fighter, I think Hero has like a lot more interesting stuff in his toolkit to be like, yes, this is better than just like another sword fighter. So I'd probably put Banjo, Hero, and Piranha Plant, and then like Min Min. I guess she'd be like the 4th or something.
Okay. So not terrible.
Something.
Not terrible. Right on.
Definitely fun to use. Just just don't expect to. I don't know. I was gonna say don't expect to win. Maybe if you're playing
don't
online.
expect to just pick up the character and be like, oh, it's just like Mario, Donkey Kong, or the other 79 characters. Like to be honest, she's so different. Like
I'm kind of surprised. Even winning.
Ryu, Ken, and Terry are different in that sense, where it's like, well, you should know a fighting game, but they made them Smash orientated.
Yeah.
Like for her, you know how weird it is doing a forward smash with forward B. Like that is the weirdest thing, or like hitting A, B, so and like it's just
I'm surprised.
It just made no sense. It made you go on, man.
I was gonna say I'm like, even though I usually just play against computer players because I'm a loser, I'm surprised I'm like winning matches. Put it that way, because it's like
with her. Dude, maybe,
I'm like
maybe you got a knack for her, bro.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm just like kind of getting lucky. Like I feel like if someone was like,
if I was test it out on Clay, you gotta test it out on Clay.
I'm like, I feel like if I play against like a computer or human that's like slightly better, I'll just get creamed because it's so easy for you to like throw a punch and then someone just like bum rushes you and like kicks the crap, because you really only have up close range and like far distance. There isn't really a mid range attack, so it's like if you throw out an arm, you better hit it with the second arm, because then you're just kind of screwed for the next like second or two. So, but yeah, it's a fun character.
Cool.
I think we'll. I'm thinking we should either leave it at that or one more news, please.
We've been going for almost 2 hours, so it's your call.
I'm good. I'm good with that. But unless you want to squeeze it, man, it's your call.
I just want to bring up Crash 4 was announced and looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, of course, but not on Switch. But yeah, I'm excited for Crash 4 too, man. I'm excited. It looks like a real sequel to 3, but I hate how people are considering this Crash 4. Like Wrath of Cortex is pretty good, you know, the 4th game, whatever, like that people didn't play. No, I think Crash 3 is called Wrath of Cortex. I forgot the name what they called the old Crash 4. You know, no, it was Wrath of Cortex. Yeah, and that game is because Crash 3 is warped. So honestly, that was a really good game. It was underrated because it was like multi-platform and not by Activision, etc. But
there you have it, guys. That's not even Nintendo news, and we squeezed it in.
Well, I'm gonna say it's probably coming because all the other Crash and Spyro games or I should say Activision games have come.
Oh yeah, are
So
on and by Toys
they
for
just-
Bob, etc.
yeah.
So
they just like those games ended up coming like a year later. So I'm sure this will be the same.
oh yeah, 100%. There's no way. I
Yeah.
mean, they were packaged together, for the Switch as well later
Yeah.
on. Like you could get both. So
Alrighty.
So
Well, it was
Yeah.
good to get back with you guys. Finally do an episode because Matt's trying to
That's fun.
kill his podcast secretly. So it's like,
yeah, I know. I was ready to start my own podcast at this rate. So it's a good thing Matt came back.
he's gonna call. We're gonna just talk about Matt. Make a podcast talking about Matt, how he's killing our podcast. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd listen to it.
What a guy. What a guy.
Well played.
Got to support
Well-
you, not supporting me. All right.
The Shmuga podcast.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's been a while. Well, sure, we'll come back again soon. Again, I'm gonna say realistically, it's probably gonna be like another month because I don't think Nintendo will put out that much info anytime soon to really talk about.
Oh man, we're not
So
gonna get together to talk about the Devolver Direct, man. You know I'm gonna be all
Maybe.
of that. I'm like, Devolver.
Maybe we could
they're
do a
gonna
mini
make
one. Depends if anything good is shown or how much, because I don't even know how long it is. It's probably like 20
I'll
minutes, 30 minutes maybe.
Again, I'll just start my own podcast. It'll just be Clay about Matt talking about Devolver Direct itself and how there was no Dungeon 2, and it was like, oh, what a letdown.
All right.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you can land it there. You can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Source Gaming. And Mike, where can people find you?
All right, guys, find me on youtube.com/SMBGame64 or just GameMen in the search bar. And I'm doing a lot more Mario ROM hacks, so if you guys want to watch some of that, that's on the channel. Other than that, yeah, that's it. Just find me there. Everything else will lead you to me.
Neato. And Unoclay, where can people find you?
If you're going to find me on the internet, it's going to lately be on Twitter once a week when I jump on there and make the comment. That's Unoclay_Switch. If you want to be my friend on the Switch, you can get my gaming, what do they call it? Your friend ID from there.
Yeah.
File
Switch
description.
code, boys.
Twitch code, you get that there, and hit me up. We are definitely looking for a fourth to place Fortnite because we're already dominating as a trio, getting a rando in that fourth slot and letting him die in the woods, and we just go ahead and win the match without him. So, we can always use an actual fourth player. Join us.
Do it because we are.
Keep carrying those randos, bro.
Yeah.
You tell them.
Right.
No need. We don't need them. We've surpassed that. 12-year-olds, we die.
Yeah, you guys you got the 13-year-old carrying you three. Got it. Makes sense.
Nice.
All right.
All right. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on pretty much every platform on the internet. Hit us up with your questions, or if you're interested in being a guest at Just Another Castle, or me directly at the Mango Viking. So until next time, leave luck to the heavens and leave gaming to Nintendo.